Good Saturday evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Parish from the Dick Goddard Weather Center. Oh boy, has today turned into a wintry mess. We're tracking just about every type of precipitation there is across northeast Ohio right now. So some parts of the area have seen some rain, other parts have seen some freezing rain and sleet, and then other parts of northeast Ohio, especially for places much closer to the lake, are mainly just seeing some heavy wet snow that's coming down. So we're going to see we're going to see lots of colors on StormFox radar right now, and we're even seeing some lightning strikes across our far southern communities. StormFox radar is picking up on some lightning across parts of Stark, Tuscarawas, Carroll, and even into Columbiana County right now. So this is actually some thunder ice that's coming down across parts of northeast Ohio right now. Now we're not seeing much in the way of rain for right now. That has dropped to our south and out to our southeast. So the precipitation that we're tracking right now across northeast Ohio, it's in that frozen type. So where we're seeing the pink, that's likely a wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet. Probably seen a little bit more freezing rain than sleet across parts of northeast Ohio. Then for our far northern communities, especially where we're seeing the whites and the purples, that's predominantly just a heavy wet snow. And I do believe moving forward for this evening, we're likely going to see probably just that wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet for places south of the Ohio Turnpike, then for places north of the Turnpike, or for our lakeshore communities or places closer to the lake, we're probably just going to see predominantly a heavy wet snow. So we do have lots to track on StormFox radar right now, but before we get into that, let's take a quick look, because if you look out to our west, closer to I-75, you will actually notice that we're seeing the precipitation end, and that will be the trend later on this evening, that the precipitation is actually going to end from west to east across the area. But some type of precipitation is falling all across northeast Ohio right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to track the back edge of the precipitation, so we'll know when the precipitation is likely going to end for northeast Ohio, or essentially your location. We're probably going to see that precipitation end in Worcester probably before 6 o'clock this evening, for Canton just before 6:30, for Million around 6:30 as well. Akron probably going to see that precipitation end probably before 7 o'clock this evening. Parma before 7:30. Cleveland, that precipitation will likely end around 7:30. Then for Youngstown, a bulk of the precipitation will likely be east of you, probably by 8 o'clock this evening. And that widespread precipitation will likely end for Geauga, Lake, and Ashtabula counties as well. However, on the backside of the storm system, we're likely going to see some lake enhanced or lake effect snow showers develop overnight that will continue through first thing Sunday morning. So even though this wintry mess will be gone probably by 10 o'clock this evening, still going to be tracking some light snow showers for much of the area. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the action so we can kind of pinpoint who's seeing what across the area. And if you do want to comment in the comments section, let other people know where you're at and what type of precipitation you're seeing. And if you do have an update on road conditions, please put that in the comments section as well. We are probably starting to see those roadways are becoming slick and icy, especially where we're seeing the freezing rain and the the sleet, because once again, we can travel in an inch or two of snow. That's not going to cause too many travel impacts across northeast Ohio, but no one can drive on ice, and that's what we're seeing across other parts of northeast Ohio. So as we zoom into Cuyahoga County, it looks like we are seeing perhaps a little bit of sleet, maybe some freezing rain mix in for the western half of the county, especially for places west of 77. For places mainly east of 77, we're predominantly just seeing some snow from downtown to Solon up towards Mayfield Heights, even into Mentor. Across other parts of the area, mainly across parts of Ashtabula, Lake, and Geauga County, mainly just seeing some snow. There are some bursts of heavier snow mixing in there as well, which is why we are seeing some darker shades of purple. But across our far southern communities, that's where we're mainly more concerned with the potential for some sleet and even some freezing rain. I got an update from my wife earlier today from Medina County that says that parts of Medina County are already very icy, and that was about an hour ago, and that precipitation has continued to fall, so I can only imagine that things have actually gotten worse across parts of Medina County. But we are seeing Predominantly just some sleet, some freezing rain from Brunswick to Medina to Westfield to Wadsworth, even to Richfield, Cuyahoga Falls, Akron, Coventry, even to parts of Portage County. For the northern half, it looks like predominantly just snow. For places right along 80 in Portage County, probably just seeing snow. But for places closer to 76, like Rootstown, that's where probably we're seeing more sleet and freezing rain mix in. Farther down to our south, we are seeing that thunder ice once again from parts of Tuscarawas, southern Stark, even to parts of Tuscarawas, Carroll, and even into parts of Columbiana County as well. So some of those rain or freezing rain that's coming down across our far southern communities probably coming down at a pretty good clip, because once we start seeing lightning on radar, that typically means an uptick in the precipitation intensity. So this is where there is the potential that we could see some significant ice accumulations, maybe up to 1/4 of an inch, probably right along Route 30. That's where maybe the highest or the heaviest freezing rain or the highest ice accumulations will be possible over the next couple of hours, because that's where it does look like the freezing rain and or sleet is coming down the hardest. We are perhaps seeing more snow across our far western communities, especially from Vermilion down towards Port Clinton. The very latest scans of StormFox radar show more snow than freezing rain and sleet for places just west of 71, especially across parts of Lorain, Erie, and even Huron County. But I do believe for the most part, this is especially for places south of 80, this is probably more sleet and freezing rain than snow, but definitely seeing a wintry mix of things across northeast Ohio. So once again, what type of precipitation that you're likely going to see this evening is greatly going to depend on, once again, really where you are. Once again, I do expect for the Ohio Turnpike and places to the north, overall, generally speaking, the predominant precipitation type for you is probably just going to be that heavy, wet, slushy snow. For places south of the Ohio Turnpike, especially for places east of 71, the predominant precipitation type there is probably going to be either sleet or freezing rain, and that's where road conditions will likely be the worst, because traveling on ice is much harder and is much more difficult than traveling on snow. So once again, where we are seeing the pink, that's a wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet. Where we're seeing the whites and the purples, that's more of a heavy, wet, slushy snow that's coming down. A winter weather advisory does continue until 1 o'clock in the morning for much of northeast Ohio. The only exception would be for Geauga, Lake, and Ashtabula County. That's where the winter weather advisory does continue until 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Now, even though the precipitation will likely come to an end by 8 or 9 o'clock this evening for many locations across northeast Ohio, road conditions will still likely remain slick and icy, because temperatures will stay in the 20s overnight. Once again, we are expecting some ice accumulations, especially for the southern half of northeast Ohio. Anywhere south of the Ohio Turnpike, we are likely expecting anywhere between a glaze to maybe up to 1/4 of an inch of ice. And once we start to see ice accumulations up to 2/10 of an inch, that's where there may also be some power outages across the area. So south of 76, south of the Ohio Turnpike, right around Route 30, that's where maybe the potential for the heaviest ice accumulation will be through this evening, and that's where, once again, traveling will likely be the most difficult, and that's also where some power outages will be possible as well. Once again, for places north of the Ohio Turnpike, we are probably just going to predominantly just see snow, and that's where some light or minor snowfall accumulations will be possible. So for our northern tier counties, that's where maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow will be possible. Probably slightly higher snowfall amounts, getting closer to that 3-inch mark for the primary snow belt. So talking about Geauga, Lake, and Ashtabula County, we'll likely see anywhere between 1 to 3 inches of snow through first thing Sunday morning. Here's the very latest hour-by-hour forecast with Featurecast. Here we are at 6 o'clock this evening, doing a pretty good job of showing where that precipitation is and what is falling. Now, it does show too much in the way of rain for our far southern communities. So where we are seeing this green, especially across parts of Stark, Tuscarawas, Carroll, as well as Columbiana County, and even into parts of Youngstown. Remember, this is still going to be predominantly a mix of sleet and freezing rain, and that freezing rain and sleet will likely extend up towards the Ohio Turnpike. North of the Turnpike, probably just still going to be dealing with that heavy, wet snow. By 9 o'clock this evening, that widespread precipitation looks like it's going to taper off and should be east of the area. So by 8 o'clock this evening, most of that precipitation will likely be gone. However, temperatures are still going to be below freezing, so I'm still expecting some slick and icy spots on the roadways. Look at what's still hanging out across the primary snow belt. There will still be the potential for some light lake effect snow showers overnight and the first thing Sunday morning. That chance of snow will end before midday tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, we may even see some sunshine, a few peaks of sunshine, but the clouds will likely continue. And I do expect quiet conditions will continue Sunday night into Monday. So for tonight, my forecast low 25 degrees. That wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow will continue mainly before 10 o'clock this evening. After that, that widespread precipitation should be gone, and we're just going to be left with some light lake effect snow showers. Once again, with temperatures only hanging out in the low to middle 20s overnight, even though we're not going to see much more in the way of snow or ice overnight, still expecting some icy and slick spots on those roadways through first thing tomorrow morning, but road conditions should improve tomorrow morning through early tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow will top out near 30 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions with a west to northwest wind at around 10 miles per hour. Here's your 8-day forecast. 30 degrees for tomorrow, just that slight chance of snow, mainly in the morning. Monday, for the most part, does look like it's going to be a quiet day as well, but still looking cold with a high of 28. Tuesday, we're going to see a storm system pass to our south. Now, the models this afternoon show that storm system pushing a little bit farther to the south, and if that's the case, we're probably going to have to drop our snow chances just a little bit on Tuesday. But the overall weather pattern looks like it's going to remain active. Another storm system will bring in more of a wintry mess of things Wednesday night into Thursday, with high temperatures Wednesday into Thursday in the mid to upper 20s. Valentine's Day is on Friday, and the weather won't stop anyone from celebrating with a high of 30 degrees. Friday does look quiet, but once again, here comes another storm system that looks like it's going to bring in a mixture of rain and snow next weekend. Then that wintry mix of rain and snow on Saturday could turn to all snow as we head towards Sunday, and that's when we could see our temperatures go back down once again. So for right now, we are tracking mainly just sleet and freezing rain for our southern half of the area. For our northern counties, probably just going to continue to see snow for the next couple of hours. Remember, traveling could be difficult in spots, especially for the places that are seeing the sleet and freezing rain, and that will continue to see the sleet and freezing rain over the next couple of hours. Remember, you can always get the very latest forecast at fox8.com, and don't forget that we have a late edition of Fox 8 News at 10 that starts at 11 o'clock this evening. By then, this wintry mess should be winding down, and we're just going to see some light snow showers. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and you have a great Saturday night.